Welcome to this summer training session on HTML. You might want to know why we need to do HTML and why do we have to do it when we're very young. What surrounds the HTML? What makes it so different from other programming language? These are the things that you're going to be finding out in this session. But before I go ahead, I would like to tell you about internet. Everybody makes use of internet today. They don't know how it starts. Okay, fine. They don't really want to know how it starts. But I want to say it's quite important for you to know how internet starts. Internet started with the US Army and the US Defense Department, and they created a network. That network is called ARPANET. Wait a minute, what's the meaning of network? What is network? Another big word. Network. Imagine your daddy has a computer system in Canada, and you have another computer system in Nigeria, and you have somebody, one of your friends has a computer system in US. This is USA, this is Canada, and this is Lagos, Nigeria. And none of them are linked together. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this C is even linked to A again. This is a network, and this is also linked to another one in London. And all these systems can get information from each other. This is called a network. Everything works together, so they call it a network. We'll say it is in a network. So now, when we now say that the US Army, US Defense created a network, you can now understand what we mean by a network. They actually needed to solve a problem, and that's why they created the military research project. Then, that was during the 1960s, created a network in order to solve a problem, cover a large geometric area so that they can communicate their information to each other, their other colleagues in other different areas. So in the process of doing that, they created a network, and that network is what turns out to be ARPANET. They call it ARPANET then. ARPANET, let me write it out. ARPANET. And this ARPANET is what we call internet today, because after they've created that, they now later worked on it, and it turns out to be an internet. That it's internet working. That's what they mean by internet. Internet is actually what we call internet working. The short form of internet working is called the internet. That means it connects internationally. So you can get information from London, you can get information from US, you can get from you if you have actually stored something here, and if they have stored something in London and they want to get, they can get it. So linking up all these computer systems in all these different areas is what we call internet, and everything started from happiness. So now, after considering all this, you might want to know, how do I get all these network to be placed? I mean, to be in place. How do I get all this computer to be network? We can either use a modem. That means there are several ways of internet connections that we have today. We can either use a phone modem, or we use what we call a cable modem. Let me list it here. Phone modem. Then we have a cable modem. Let me clean this up. Second one, which is a cable modem. Every one of us watch cable at home. That cable can also act as an internet connection, because you have a VSAT that you connected it to, and it can actually point to the service provider. The service provider can also be linked to a VSAT that takes them out of the country. So it brings you internet in. We have a cable modem. And the third one is we have a DSL. We don't use all this in the country. We use it outside the country. A DSL. DSL is a digital subscriber line, and it's a service offered by the telecoms or telephone companies. But that's obsolete. That's getting obsolete now. In Nigeria, what we see mostly is a phone modem. With our telecoms, with our 4G services, they are all phone modem, because all of them make use of SIM card. All of them make use of a SIM card. Okay, so we're just creating a background for HTML, why we need HTML, how does HTML works. So after considering all this interconnection, how we can actually connect all the computers together to form a internet, which is the networking of countries. Now we want to also talk about what is really, when you say somebody is on the web, what is the meaning of the World Wide Web? Now, for you to understand this, we have to be talking about, let me clean this up. Okay, so I want to, let me quickly recap what I said now. For us to really get into what HTML is, we actually need to talk about what is web. A lot of people say, I'm on the web. Oh, what am I? I need to get on the web and get some information. You understand? But they are saying a big word, a lot of word there. And for you to understand what the web is, we'll be talking about what is the World Wide Web. I'm still mentioning the same word. World Wide Web is a part of internet. Can you see? Part of internet and consists of huge collections. Huge part of internet. I mean, part of internet networking, but don't call it that way. Shorten it. Part of internet and consists of a huge collection of data, documents, huge, huge rather, sorry, huge collections of documents. Documents stored on computer. Can you see? You see, remember I told you that we have a network that is all over the places. That means there are a lot of documents that are stored on those computer, and World Wide Web is part of, it's that's what it consists of all around the world. Now, when you now say worldwide, that means World Wide Web. That means it contains all documents stored on different computers all over the world. And the way we call it, instead of calling it the World Wide Web, we just call it the web. That's how we call it, the web. So I'm going somewhere. I just want you to get that clear, because all these words are going to be used subsequently. We're going to be using them, and I don't want you to get confused about what is web and what is this, what is that. So, having known that, now that leads us to ask. I mean, we're coming straight to what we need to really study, what we really need to know. What is the web? What is the web page? Web page. The web page is a simple document. Is a document that contains information such as text, that contains information such as text. Remember, I didn't say data. A web page is a document that contains information such as text. Text are the words like what I'm writing down now. Images, pictures, we have sounds, we have videos. I need to work on this. Okay, I need to clean up this, and just make sure that okay. Clean this up. Sorry, so I can understand what I'm saying. Okay, we have text, like I was saying the other time. We have text, we have pictures, we have sounds, we have videos, sound, videos. All those things contribute to what we call the web page. And what we're going to be designing throughout this summer break training, it's series of web page. So I don't want to jump into words because you're still going to get there. The web page is stored on computers called the web server, and that gives us another word. A web page is stored on the web server and is available for people to view. I'm going to be describing what a web server is because you need all those things to move on in this training program. Now, the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is the website. For you to have a website, you need to have series of web pages. Web pages, let me write that down. Web page, web server, website. Website is a series of web pages. Okay, website is a series, collections of web pages. Okay. Okay. Collection of web pages. Can you see web page is a single document that contains text, images, sounds, and videos. All of us watch Facebook that contains the pictures and text. Some of us contribute to the text. All of us watch, sound, music, videos on the YouTube. Those are also content. But each page you open on the YouTube is a web page, not a web. Although the whole collection of all the pages is called a website. Do you understand what I'm saying now? And the web server is where all these things are kept. It's a computer system that store all these websites. I know. Remember that the website is a collection of web pages, and this web page contains text, images, sounds, and videos, which are stored on that computer system. This is a computer system. A computer system. Sorry, I need to make sure that this thing is working properly. Okay. Okay. The computer system. So now, having this background is very important for us to properly understand what goes around in development of websites. Do you understand? Let me clean this up because we'll talk about it initially. And all these questions, all these things that we are talking about, we are still going to ask you questions on it. And you're going to have an assignment that you need to do because it's going to be a question. You can play all over this video before you do your assignment. Do you understand? So It's important you get above, we want you to get above 50% by the end of the day. So a web server is a computer system that helps to store all the things we've been talking about initially, and is put in a network. Now, a web server is a server. When you say, "Oh, it's on the server," that's the web server. And having said that, I'm going to be also talking about the web browser. Web browser. A web browser is also what helps us to open all this content. When you want to browse a website, a web browser is used to browse a website. Do you understand? A web browser is used to browse a website, and it opens up the website, the web pages on the website. So a web browser is a program that lets people view and explore information on the website. On the web. Let me just say on the web. To view, I'm going to be noting all those few words out. A program that lets people to view information on the web information on the web. So after noting all these things, you'll be able to understand what we mean by a website, a web page, a web server, and a web browser. In the next lecture, we're going to be seeing what tools we need to get in place, what tools we have to have we have to put on ground before we can actually design and implement a web page. And we're going to be seeing a few things that we need to start with to also work on the web page. Don't worry, if you don't understand anything, you can actually just use the discussion panel or the tweets to send the tweet to us, and we can further clarify this in the subsequent video that we're going to be shooting out to you. Thank you. I hope you understand what we've just learned. We'll get back to you. Thank you.